What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Classic Songs. Today we're doing Hollywood by Madonna. Um, you know, most people, when they think of Madonna and her music, they think, oh, well, she's just, you know, bringing in good people and, collaborating good songwriters and doing, pop songs and whatnot. But here to share a little secret with you. Madonna, was kind of an innovator when it comes to blending pop with EDM, electronic dance music. Her stuff was mostly house, with a little bit of trance. Um, but she, started doing that, years ago. And now I think it's interesting that you get Drake and his latest album, not the current one with 21 Savage, but his last studio album with himself. And then, um, Beyonce's latest album, bringing in some EDM as well. So, Madonna has so many good songs. I decided to pick this era just because, she is doing EDM. I remember hearing a quote, and I think it was after she, was it the what else? I think it was American Life, and that was her first, deep dive into EDM. I mean, she was doing EDM kind of pop before then, but and she said, she wanted it to, she felt EDM could be cold at times, and she wanted to bring warmth and humanity to it. I think that's what she said. But hey, that that's what she did. She was very good, and this is kind of what makes her unique. And she is an innovator when it comes to this. Um, so let's dive right in. Hollywood, 126 BPM beats per minute, which is a little fast than most songs, but it works, and it's in C major. So yeah. So the lyrics: seeking status, fame, and recognition, um, losing yourself for fame, um, becoming artificial, so to speak, and the seduction of fame and celebrity. So, I mean, those are kind of my take. Those are the lyrical themes. This was on the American Life album, came out in 2003. And so this was Madonna's first album after 9/11. And she talks about how that album, American Life, how it really was affected by 9/11. So, um, the trivial matters that folks chase. I mean, this song kind of deals with that. And then you have the video, which is very interesting. Uh, it cuts back and forth with Madonna. She's wearing something in black panties and sitting on an old black and white television. And through the video, I thought it was Marilyn Monroe or something. Someone's doing something in the street, and keeps cutting back and forth. And so Madonna starts off with black hair, then she goes to red hair, then she does the platinum blonde Marilyn Monroe thing. And going back to my Madonna and Brandon, she'll put on that Marilyn Monroe persona every so often, and then she does a brunette thing as well. And I just love Madonna and how she every once in a while goes into Marilyn Monroe mode. And it's interesting. I mean, I'm going to do an episode on Marilyn eventually, and it's interesting how um, everybody projects things onto Marilyn, and so it's really hard to nail down who Marilyn really was, because she's a lot of things to different people, and people kind of put uh, what they want her to be onto her. And Elvis is like that in some way too. I just finish my episode on Elvis, and I didn't really get into the projections of Elvis. As Elvis, I did talk about, is Elvis a racist? But and I came to the conclusion no. But those two are probably some of the biggest, the two biggest American icons, for lack of a better word, that people like to project on. So, oh yeah, so the video too. I mean, Madonna gets some Botox shots, which is interesting. Again, the whole superficiality of the elites, and this is coming. Again, think about this coming on the heels of 9/11. If you're uh, Gen X and the younger millennial probably don't really remember what that was like. But this is kind of her critique on American society. And her thought process is coming out of 9/11, and people don't really think of Madonna as overtly political or whatever, but everything Madonna does. I mean, yeah, she likes shock value, but it goes back, in the main episode of Madonna and Brandy. Is she exploiting her sexuality, or is she a feminist? And again, I think I conclude in that episode, and I'll say it again, that yeah, she's I think everybody, after years of debate, finally, yeah, she's a feminist. But that's Madonna being Madonna. Yeah, there's also, a quick scene in the video where, Madonna tries to seduce a maid, which is interesting. It's sort of, you know, the maid's a woman, so it's all, and some, that's been going on for a long time in Hollywood. Casting couches, and, the young and quote unquote innocent, being exploited by, you know, the richer, powerful stars, and and Me Too, that came up, and wasn't, obviously an issue. And then, she's on a massage table, I think, in pink panties and the pink bra, and getting a massage. So there's a lot going on in the video. I think is a very interesting video. So you know, so yeah, I mean, so this is, adding to Madonna's brand. This isn't just a classic song, but there's a lot of politics going on here. She's saying a lot in this video. And then the video ends abruptly because Madonna reaches down and turns the TV off. And this TV is an old TV. It's probably at least from the mid 60s, because I remember in the early 70s, my first TV as a kid, and it didn't look like that one. So it's old school. It's 65 or old, older, and the TV she uses. So Madonna and EDM. So what's the history there? Well, I think her first, probably EDM song was Vogue in 1990 off of the Dick Tracy album, and not all EDM in the 90s, particularly the early 90s, was forward to the floor, but definitely, she had an EDM thing going on there. Erotica, the 1992 she came up with Erotica. You got the song Erotica Fever, which is a remake of the classic song. She does a great remake of that, and Deeper and Deeper. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, Deeper and Deeper might be forward to the floor. It's probably closer to what we consider EDM today. But erotica is, even though it has that deep funky bass. And then Bedtime Stories in 1994. The song Bedtime Story is, has EDM aspects, and then music. Impressive Instant, one of my all-time favorite Madonna EDM songs, and music. Music's interesting because it's a beautiful blend of EDM and funk. I think, technically I would call it electro funk or whatever, but I mean, it's very EDM-ish, but it's on the one and it's funky as I don't know what. And of course, in the video, Madonna goes full gangsta as well. Love the song. It's a beautiful mix of EDM and funk, and she does it again later in her career, but nobody's really pulled that off other than Madonna. So you got to give Madonna some props again for pulling that off, because it's music was a smash, and that's why, and she nailed the merge of those two genres and that sound. So then we have American Life, 2003, which Hollywood is on, and Die Another Day, which is again another blend of funk and EDM, like music. You know, Die Another Day wasn't a smash like music, but it's still a very good blend of funk and EDM, and that's the second time she did it, and she did it well. 2005, Confessions on a Dance Floor, and Madonna goes all in on EDM. Hung Up starts off, the album. And the fifth song, my favorite, Impressive is one of my favorite EDM deep cuts of Impressive Instant. And, I Love New York is, my other favorite EDM deep cut from Madonna. And that's the fifth song on Confessions of a Dance Floor. I tell you what, I wear out between Hung Up and I Love New York. And I think, if you look at that album and the streams on Spotify, most of the those are the top five, stream songs there. And then outside of Jump, and Jump is also EDM, and it's a really good EDM song as well. And I think Jump has the second most Spotify streams on the album. But I mean, that's just, epic, that run there that she does, and I think it's kind of the, Madonna's. That's where she kind of, in my opinion, perfects, and she's really does good, merging EDM with pop. So 2008, we have Hard Candy and 4 Minutes, and that's with Justin Timberlake and Timbaland. And then MDNA from 2012, Girl Gone Wild, and Give Me All Your Love. And again, it's a very EDM album, and it's a good album, but it's not quite Confessions on a Dance Floor. So 2015, she puts out Rebel Heart, and Bitch I'm Madonna has, some EDM elements, and Holy Water. And then finally, Madam X from 2019 has some EDM. But that's when she's starting to bring in the Spanish elements with, and she does she has a pretty heavy reggaeton song, but she's bringing in the Spanish guitars. I mean, Madonna's a chameleon. Is what I love about her. So she sees where the music scene's going as reggaeton is rising up the charts and in popularity, and internationally. I mean, hip hop is number one. Reggaeton uh, is probably outside of pop is probably third, and reggaeton is also starting to take over the dance floors and clubs across the world. So that's Madonna being Madonna and bringing in the new stuff, but love what she's done, here with her EDM stuff. So, in conclusion, a couple things here with Hollywood by Madonna. There are a lot of political elements going on. This is her reaction to 9/11, and this is Madonna being a music innovator. Most people don't, give her credit for that, but it's she kind of right now is the queen of the EDM pop blend. And it's going to be interesting to see what Drake and Beyonce do. I mean, they're going to obviously, they'll do something different. But I really do think that, there's a lot of ground here to, This music's all you're always combining stuff and doing, to do something new, and not many people have really gone in and dived in and done stuff with EDM. So I'm kind of, excited to see, what Beyonce and Drake are gonna do. I mean, Madonna, pretty much, you know, did her thing on it and is now moving on. I mean, she spent, you know, 3 or 4 albums there were EDM heavy and really, put her stamp on it. Um, Chris Brown has done some EDM stuff, and surprisingly, Lil Jon has done a little EDM too. So, folks are dibbling and dabbling. The other thing is, as I listen to Madonna's put, a lot of her, at least one album out from each tour, and it's a little hard trying to translate EDM to and concert, but I think Madonna's done a good job with it, and I think that might be why people stay away from it so much because they're gonna people are gonna want them to perform it, but I think Madonna's gonna has done a good job with that as well. So yeah, you know, add a little spice to Madonna's brand, and classic song Hollywood, one of my all time favorite Madonna songs. So I think that's gonna do it for this episode. Smash the like button, subscribe, uh, look up my 4 albums. I got some good music out there. It's right here on YouTube. I'm on all the streaming services. Working on the fifth album. Hopefully be out soon. And of course, I got my two novels and novella, sci-fi, fantasy, on Amazon. So keep on coming back and support me. I appreciate you, and I'll see you next episode.